Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another Just for Today daily reading by me. My name is John Clayton. I'm a recovering drug addict and alcoholic, and I've been clean and sober since February 21st, 2021. And apologize now in advance because I know I've missed a few days with my normal daily schedule. And John, I don't really have any excuses other than I'm just I got a lot going on, and I'm trying to do too much, I think, and I'm still not fully. I don't want to use the word organized, because I am kind of organized, but yeah, I don't know what I'm trying to think of, but anyway, so it's March 14th, and we're talking about relationships. Also, our inventories usually include material on relationships. Basic text, page 29. What an understatement this is, especially in later recovery. Entire inventories may focus on our relationships with others. Our lives have been filled with relationships with lovers, friends, parents, co-workers, children, and others with whom we come in contact. A look at these associations can tell us much about our essential character. Often our inventories catalog the resentments that arise from our day-to-day interactions with others. We strive to look at our part in these frictions. Are we placing unrealistic expectations on other people? Do we impose our standards on others? Are we sometimes downright intolerant? Often, just the writing of our inventory will release some of the pressure that a troubled relationship can produce. But we must also share this inventory with another human being. That way, we get some needed perspective on our part in the problem and how we can work towards a solution. The inventory is a tool that allows us to begin healing our relationships. We learn that today, with the help of an inventory, we can start to enjoy our relationship with others. Just for today, I will inventory the part I play in my relationships. I will seek to play a richer, more responsible part in those relationships. Yeah, that's an interesting reading this morning. For myself, actually it's interesting because, one sec. It's interesting because today I look at relationships differently than I ever have before. Okay, given, I'm not in any relationships with anybody, and, my social, I guess, I'm not sure what you call it, but has also changed drastically, because when I was finally able to give up when I was finally ready to put the dope down, I oh, damn it, I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Relationships. Oh, okay, but like when I first got clean and sober, I had to, in order for me to have any success at that, I had to get rid of my contact list. Anything and everyone that had anything to do with drugs or alcohol, I deleted out of my phone. Well, after doing that, it turns out that, I didn't have much of I didn't have any kind of a social life, because everyone in my contact list had something to do with drugs and alcohol. So I didn't really realize how alone I truly was until I put the dope down. However, I have no regrets, though. I mean, okay, given I'm lonely, but I have no regrets, and I'm glad to be clean and sober, because, I don't want to die, and, I realize now, especially now that I've had so much time to reflect on my life and the things that I've done in my life, I've come to realize how much I've really missed out and lost out on in life, even though, I don't have any family or, friends other than people who I've met since I've been in recovery. Because, I mean, sure, given, I've met a lot of people in the rooms of, when I go to meetings and stuff, but nobody that I really connect with on a level that is in anything that I'm into, and that's so hard to find those type of people, people who I can, collaborate with and knock ideas around with, and even maybe create some things with, but anyway, so, because of that realization, now I'm doing everything that I possibly can to try and make myself a better person, and to try and be creative in a way that maybe I'll get noticed, even though, a lot of the stuff that I'm creating, I'm using AI, so, that helps a lot. It makes it easier for me to put my ideas together without me necessarily being that perfect of a drawer or whatever to get my point or whatever I'm trying to put together. But AI makes it so much easier, and with so many different styles and ideas, it's just amazing. And, and if it's used creatively and not maliciously, or not used in ways of deceiving people or deception, then, I can see why people should worry about it. But if it's being used in a creative sense, where you're just trying to entertain and blah blah blah, then, I'm all for it. But we'll see what defines later on down in the future. We'll see what defines the difference between creativity and being controlled. So, thank you everybody for joining me today. If nobody's told you today that they love you, well, I love you, and I look forward to seeing you again. And I am, excuse me, I am trying to get back on schedule with my daily reading, so hopefully this is day one of that. So, we'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Bye for now.